My guest today is another member of the PCR 10 crew. We chat about his decorator working career, his family, friends, and changes he has made to his life that paints a very bright future. Special thanks to Pete's Tree Works and More Constructions, major sponsor of today's guest. So please welcome Alex the Blonde Bombshell Wright.
Yep.
That hairdo is pretty good.
It is.
The mullets are coming right back in, aren't they?
I've had a mullet for a long time now.
I heard you brought them back in.
I did. It all started. I was about 18, I think, or 19. Then my one of the boys got some dog clippers out when we were on the piss and shaved my head and left the mullet and it just stayed since.
Did they allow that at, where'd you go?
MCC, Mandurah Catholic College.
Mandurah Catholic College. We were looking at a photo earlier on, class of 2012. Yeah, you can find this online, everyone. Look at that, good bunch of people. And have a look who's absent. Last name.
Least important bloke in the list.
So is this because you left before the end of year 12?
Yeah, I left midway through.
What was it like, Mandurah? 2012, it was getting better. It's changed a lot in the last, say, 20, 30 years.
Yeah, it's Mandurah's I would say the last 10 years has definitely got a lot better.
Way better. They do those boat cruises around Christmas or something, don't they?
Yeah, they do the looking at the lights and stuff, which is we went once. We took our own boat, and it was just a fucking traffic jam, and we were like, yeah, we'll never do this again.
Can you take your own boats on those things?
Yeah.
You can. It's not like blocked off and just.
Nah, it's just a canal, so you can just go through. But you're better off waiting until after Christmas, a couple of days after Christmas, and then go
when everyone's
down.
still got them on.
Yeah, and everyone's too hungover to go.
I was thinking about going this year and with my family, but living there, that chair's not the greatest. Sorry, mate. Living there, though, when you're around it all the time, it wouldn't be as impressive, is it?
Nah, I mean, it's a show when you go down. Like, it's pretty impressive what people spend on lights. Some of them are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on them. It's ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
And when you got kids and stuff, that's probably where it's going to...
Yeah, so now we've got an 18-month-old. When she gets a bit older and we have a second one, we'll probably do once a year. But
you were bragging about the sleeping of your little one earlier on.
It's that good. The only issue we have, which is not a bad thing for us, she gets up really early, but we're early risers as well, so we kind of bred that into her. But we never get to sleep in.
No,
but she's in bed at 6, up at 6.
She's healthy.
Yeah,
that's all
chunky
you need.
Little baby.
No, that's all you need, awesome. Man. And what about the missus? How's she going?
Yeah, awesome. She's it's funny when we met. I was gym 6 days a week and she was going once or twice, and then we kind of flipped the script about 6 months in, and I think I got a broken jaw and I lost my mojo going to the gym, and she started ever since has been going 6 days a week.
Okay.
Yeah, it's awesome. And then so she keeps fit, which has slowly kept me on track and eating healthy and that, but I did blow up to about 98 kilos a little while ago. Yeah.
You did skim over that there. How'd you break the jaw?
I was walking through Northbridge.
Okay, nothing more needs to be said.
No. It was actually not long after I met my missus, and we a guy just moved over from the Gold Coast. So I'd met him at work, and he wanted to go out to Northbridge, so we were like, yeah, no worries. So we got a room up there. The girls called a cab. It was slightly drizzling, so they called a cab, and we walked into the I think we were walking to Air nightclub, and then we just walked past these bunch of dudes that looked like they were having a blow, so we just stood back, and then it turned out they were just mates, so we kept walking, a couple of them walking with us, just having a yarn, whatever, nothing bad was happening. Then all of a sudden one of the boys just ran around and clocked me from behind and snapped me jaw.
Really?
Yeah.
No reason for it?
No reason. Like I was on my own. Like all the rest of the boys, they were just sort of mingling and talking while walking, and I was just sort of in front of the group, and he just sort of pushed my mate out of the way, and then just
probably
me.
Jealous of that crop of hair.
Yeah,
you've got, mate.
Well, that
jealousy.
I actually didn't have a mullet at that stage, but it was long and blonde. And
I for many years, I always thought that someone said, I was just standing there and he hit me. And it's my fault, but I never really believed. I thought there's always got to be a reason that someone gets hit, until I saw someone standing once in like a 7-Eleven or something, doing absolutely nothing and just get cold cocked from behind. I was like, geez, it does happen.
Yeah.
All those people I dismissed over.
Yeah. I didn't think anyone really had the fucking balls to do it to someone. Well, you say the balls, but it.
You got 10 of your mates around the corner.
Yeah,
you got the balls.
Yeah. Like, fucking, for what reason?
Yeah, it's not.
It's literally like, and you know, luckily it didn't knock me out. I knew my jaw was broken straight away, and like I turned around, and my mate already fucking had him on the ground anyway. But it was, imagine if it was a dude that was small and wiry, and he just whacked him and headbutted the deck, and that was the end of him.
An old person.
Yeah,
no
or
chin.
anyone. Yeah.
Scary what goes on in Northbridge.
Oh.
Anyway.
I think I've only ever been back there twice since.
Jeez, it seems to be, I don't know, I don't go in there that often, but it seems to be getting a bit worse
Yeah.
in spots.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyhow, let's not talk about Northbridge. Let's talk about you and your decorated career. We'll kick off with this. Firstly, your family. It seems a large family.
There's a lot of us.
Do you want to give me a rundown on the dynamics of the Wright family?
Yeah. Oh, well, fuck, I suppose... I got 8 brothers, 3 sisters. I sit somewhere in the middle. I got 2 older sisters, and one of my brothers is older than me. The rest are all younger. Yeah, Dad had. We definitely didn't have a TV. I don't reckon. Not one that worked. I don't reckon. Dad had. He was married before he met my mum, and then had 2 girls, and then met my mum, and back in those days it was quite normal, but Mum was 16 and Dad was 25, so so it was normal, but yeah.
Normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then had a few more?
Yeah, so then we had, they had my older brother and then me, and then my little brother, and then he ended up passing away at about, I think he would have been, he did his first Christmas and he was born in May. I think he died maybe February or something.
That's brutal.
After. Yeah.
How many years ago would that have been?
That was 27 years ago. 26 and a half or something, yeah.
I can't even fathom. I had no idea. I couldn't fathom that.
Nah. Like for Mum, obviously she was only real young as well, so she was probably only 18 or something. And she had 2 kids and then lost one. And Dad was a dick too. Rooting her best mate, so that was never going down so well.
Jesus.
And so poor thing. And then she ended up meeting someone else, and then had a kid to him, to a guy that wasn't meant to have kids. He's only got fucking 1 testicle, and then had my little brother, another one of my brothers, and then
this interview has not started the way I thought it would. But please keep going.
Yeah. And then. And then that didn't quite work out. Funny story. I won't go into his life actually, but then Dad had 2 more. He had my little sister and my little brother. I think there's 5 years difference between us then, and then he had them obviously to another year, and then Mum had 4 when I was 13, I think. She had another one, and then had another 3 following that. So the oldest, my oldest sister would be 35, I think, and somewhere around there, and the youngest is 11.
So what's that make? There's about 12 of you.
12 of us all up, yeah.
What do Christmas do's like?
Yeah.
Did everyone get along, or is
Nah.
Okay.
The funny thing the funny thing is when you have such big families, is they generally, and it's the consensus when I meet big families, is a lot of them don't talk to each other, especially when there's a mixed family.
Yeah.
Because they've, been steps, like they've got their own family as well. My sisters, they also have their mum's side of the family have another 8 on their side from their mum's side.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, like, consecutively, there's over 50 of us if you mixed all our families together.
Imagine that Chrissy party. They all got together.
Actually punch-ons, I reckon.
They come in, there's already a boxing ring set up. Gobsmack mouth guards all around. Everyone, why are you wearing headgear?
Just to settle the score.
How funny at Christmas, like, just you hear some of the stories. Christmas is supposed to be this time where everyone puts everything aside, and it's normally the time people get stuff off their chest, isn't it?
Weddings are the same every time.
Alcohol.
I was only listening to one of Bisping's podcasts the other day, and he was talking about when he first met his missus. Oh, no, I was watching his movie, actually. And
is it a good movie?
Yeah, very good.
I got to watch that.
Yeah. So he was talking about how when he got with his partner, and then he comes from this really aggressive family. His dad was in the SAS, got flogged, whatever. And then, like, Christmases, everyone was always punching on. And then he goes, meets his missus, and she's Australian, and they have a very traditional Christmas. And, they're all sitting around the table, and everyone's getting along, having good yarns and shit. And he's just in his own head, like, something's got to kick off here. Someone's got to start punching on. It was so negative. He said it was such a shit situation, and it was such a nice place to be, but he was just full of anxiety and just wanted to punch on.
It takes years. My wife's from a big family, and mine's not. And our Christmas parties, there's that tension there. You just think, who's the first one that's going to threaten another person here, and it's going to be on. And her family, they all get along. They're all so supportive and nice, and I didn't trust them for years. I went, nah, something's up with you guys, country folks. Something's not quite right here. But no, they're good people. I shouldn't bag them out. I will bag them out.
Yeah.
So when you left, we're going back into your school here. So when you left MCC, Mandurah Catholic College, you look like a nice Catholic boy. What'd you do? What'd you do straight after that?
So in school, I started doing trees. At 14 on my weekends and school holidays, taking days off.
That's what you do now? You work for Perth Tree Works? I see the shirt.
Pete's Tree Works.
Pete's Tree Works.
I own it, yeah. So, he, through Jesse, a dude I went to school with, was my best mate at the time. Funny story there, we went and vandalised the bus next door. That was when he first invited me to their house, and then they were like, oh, you'll never ever come back to our house. And then later on that year, I started working for them on my weekends, and then ended up moving into their house when my mum kicked me out of home. And
so you vandalised their bus?
Nah, it was their neighbours. It was like an abandoned property next door, and we smashed the windows and nothing.
Just hood rats.
Yeah. Doing typical 40
Mandurah stuff.
Yeah.
Stock standard.
It was on 5 acres as well. No one ever knew it was there. But
no one knew. It didn't happen.
No. Anyway, and then and then I was actually going to the Air Force as I was doing a diploma. So from year 10, so the next year when I was 15, I was doing a diploma in aeronautics. I never ended up finishing it because I dropped out of high school in year 12, 3 months before I was graduated. But I actually had a recruitment date to go in to the Air Force, and then I'd got in a bit of trouble with the cops, running from the coppers and shit when I was 17. Then went to court. They took my license that I didn't have off me, and then the Air Force didn't want me after that. And then I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And then I'd been doing trees already for 4 years or so. And then I was like, well, I might as well get a career out of it. Asked my boss for an apprenticeship, and then he said yes, and his wife said no. So I went looking for another job, and then she sacked me. I stayed good mates with him. We patched it up, and then they ended up splitting up. But then I went on to work for another company, one of the biggest tree mobs in Australia, and then just doing power line work, which was good because it got me, like any corporate company, gets you all the tickets you need to get anywhere. And then I was talking to a dude at work one day, and I'd always wanted to just travel and fuck off over east and get out of Mandurah. And then
just a clean start.
Yeah, and then this guy was like, he was a Kiwi fellow, and he was like, mate, just do it, set a date and just go. Don't fucking second guess the date. So I did. Went home to them. I set a date at work, went home to the missus and said, I'm leaving Perth this day. You either come with me or you're not. It's kind of probably a bit nicer than that, but
is that your current one?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that ended well.
Yeah. I missed a couple of years there, but yeah, and then we hit it up to up the west coast for I think about 5 to 6 weeks on the west coast. Got to Darwin, and then we'd always decided we're going to stay there for a month or so, and then so I got a bit of work while I was there pretty quick, and then she came up and said, do you want to stay here? And I was like, fuck yeah, I do. I don't mind Darwin at all. We're riding quad bikes with shotguns on our shoulders down the main road to go shoot some geese and pigs and shit. And it's
very different there, isn't it?
It's I fucking love Darwin. I love going back there too. It's such a fucking awesome part of the world.
It seems like, this is just from the impression I've got from a couple of the guys that I know that live there, it's almost like it's a very not relaxed place because people do still work hard, but they seem to work hard and play hard.
Yeah, it's
people seem to be in touch with reality as well. Like people they like to work in these grey areas with what's legal and what's not legal.
Yeah.
They get stuff done.
No, yeah, Darwin is. It depends on how you look at it. It's, I suppose, you get shit done, but you seem to do it in a lot shorter period of time. You know what I mean? It's you go to work and. I mean, when it's fucking 90% humidity and 40 degrees, you don't really want to be out there till 6 o'clock at night, you know.
Get it done.
Yeah.
What's your health and safety like up there?
Oh, it was still depending on who you worked for, I suppose.
That's everywhere. Yeah. That's everywhere, though.
You know, it was, but you know, my view, even being a company owner, is OC health and safety is something that needs to be there, but it's definitely it's over drilled.
Yeah,
sure. You know, like you couldn't work in my industry if you didn't work to a grey area every day. You know, it's just, you just never get anything done.
As long as though you are abiding by the rules that if something went bad that you covered, you're fine.
100%. And that, and you know, I had a job interview the other day with a guy, and he's like, you know, safety is a pretty big thing to him. And I was like, yeah. I said, what's on paper and what we actually do might be slightly different, but as long as, like, I would never put your life in jeopardy or someone else's life.
Common sense.
It's you.
Should be common sense.
Boxy
said, do you have common sense? Tick, well, you're fine.
There should be a common test,
Imagine sense test. That's what we should do, is invent a common sense test.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be good. How many people we know would fail? So many. And unemployment's like 30%.
Anyone born in the 2000s.
So how come you moved back from Darwin? You're obviously living in sunny Mandurah nowadays.
Yeah, so I got a phone call from Pete's stepson. He'd fucking, would have been about 10 o'clock on the 16th of October 2018. And Pete been fucking crushed by a tree.
Oh, you're kidding?
Yeah. So I was like, oh, no, like, it was a bit of a fucking shock for me. It was like it's part of the story that I missed, but, you know, he took me in. It was like, my dad was a fucking dick, so he took me in, was like my second dad, you know, taught me life skills that I didn't normally have and I wouldn't have without him. And, but yeah, and then, so it was massive straight away. I was like, I called my boss and said, fuck, I've got to fly back to Perth. I'll be going back tomorrow. And they were like, oh, you knock off now. I was like, no, I'll finish the day. Got about fucking 10 metres down the road. And I said, I can't even drive this truck. Come pick me up. Yeah. And they, you know, we don't see eye to eye so much anymore, but they fucking pay for my flights home, like to fly back to Mandurah with all my shit. And I was only supposed to be back here for 2 weeks and offered my hand and support to the family. And then we weren't sure where the company was going to go, so I was just like, I'll just run it until you decide what you want to do, whether you want to sell everything or... Was
it called Pete's
Tree Works at the time?
Okay, yeah.
And then, you know, had the funeral or whatever, and then I just kept running the business, and then they offered me to buy it on a vendor agreement, and we got documents signed up by the lawyer, and before that I called my missus and said we're moving back to Mandurah, and she'd kind of missed home and been around the family, so it wasn't a second guess to her. So she
sounds supportive, the missus.
Yeah, no, she's great. She's awesome. She's
it's pretty rare. No, it's not rare. Jeez. The comment section's going to blow up. Yeah, sorry, keep going. I didn't mean it like that.
No, she's great. She's definitely put up with some shit over the time, but she's never stood in the way of something that I want to do, and the same thing goes for her. Anything she wanted to do.
What does she do?
She works we work together now.
Okay.
I had to word that correctly.
You work for her.
Yeah.
Okay. We know how this works.
No, she was an insurance broker beforehand.
Okay.
And she wanted to pursue her career in that when we moved back. But yeah, I did miss part of that story. But yeah, so then... No, I didn't. I did buy the company, and then, fucking 4.5 years later, we're now here. But
and you decided to keep the name in memory of Pete?
Yeah. So one of our biggest things is operate in the name of a legend. That's what we have on the back of our work shirts. But yeah, it was for the first 6 months. It was hard. Like,
I can imagine.
I was like, 24, 20. was it 40? Yeah, to about 24, yeah. 24, taking over a business that was doing mostly cash, and I'd come from Darwin that was getting on the piss all the time, so I was blowing a lot of cash when I first started, and I just treating people like shit as well. Like, I would, not intentionally either, like it was just, I was fucking getting on the piss. And
you're 24, that's a lot of responsibility at 24.
Yeah, it was hard, and then I lost a few good guys, and had some blues with some mates that had come and worked for me, and then I realised, fuck, there's more to business than this shit. So started doing some self-development, like working out, how to do business, how to be a better leader, all these things. And then now, like, my journey over the last 2 years has been fucking phenomenal. Like, I don't even recollect the same person, or I don't even
identify with the same.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I don't identify with that person anymore.
It's incredible to have that awareness at that age, though.
Yeah, it kind of, for me, I felt like it had to happen. It was, there was a lot of bad substances going on when you got that much disposable cash at 24, and then, it was even right down to my workers were a part of it. We were all doing it together, and then once it stopped, and I stopped the drinking culture and created a positive culture and a family team environment. Well, the guys that I started then hiring were different people.
Yeah.
And then we started, the more I changed who I was and my journey into leadership and being an entrepreneur, more so than just being a boss, it changed the people that started hanging around us, the people that came into our business, to the guys that we have working for us now are phenomenal leaders. Like, it's just crazy to just what a shift in mindset does to a person.
It's very hard to do, though.
It's very hard, and
especially at that age, because that age, being mid-20s with a decent amount of money coming in each week, you could easily go off the rails.
Oh yeah, and it was happening.
Yeah.
It was when I was doing a line at 7:30 in the morning is when I started questioning my life choices.
Was there one specific incident or not incident, but one event that actually changed things?
That would have been it. When I was fucking stayed home from work one day and just did a bag to myself, and then it was that was it. I was like, woke up the next day and said, "This has fucking got to change." This is not, like, I realised there was a problem to start with.
That's probably the hardest time to recognise it, though, when you are in the midst of it, because you're almost in denial at that point.
Yeah, so to me it was just a party thing, It was like, we just did it every Friday. It was,
it was just
a thing. And then when it was before it became too much of a big problem. It already was, but that's when I was like, right, this has got to change.
When you made the decision to change, did it make things easier?
Yeah, 100%. As soon as that stopped, and then I stopped drinking. Like, I got 7 months drinking last year, and it was just by choice, because I didn't want to drink. Well, I went on a challenge, 75 hard, and I'd already stopped drinking then, and then it was before that, and then I just continued on and then did the challenge again, and I just...
Feel better?
Yeah, so much clarity. Mind, everything, like, choices are so much easier. I'm more aware of who I am, and I don't lose days from being hungover anymore. It's a good feeling.
It's amazing some of the decisions you make while drinking.
Yeah. Well, and I don't impulsive do things anymore either. Like, before I would do things in the business and I'd talk to my missus about them. I've always been pretty big on communication, but I fucking went and bought a $120,000 truck and then told her about it after I'd bought it. And
quality. Ask for forgiveness, mate, not permission. Someone tell me that.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's good, but now we have to, through just a few poor decisions that we now have to deal with, having a few debts over our head, because if I had made them decisions with probably a clearer head or a little bit more guidance, I probably wouldn't be in such in a situation where I have to now pay for this shit. Because I got that, and then I got a few other things that we bought as well. But it all makes money, and it's all part of the business, but it's still a fucking big burden that you got to have now.
So you're just paying for some decisions that you made?
Yeah, probably, I wouldn't put it all down to fucking just getting on the piss, but just going in blindly as well, not taking risks and not calculated risks. So,
but yeah, you're right, with the clarity and being able to make, educated decisions.
Yeah, 100%.
And in business, God, you need to be doing that now.
Well, yeah, and the more I find, the healthier I become. The less I drink. I would smoke 40 durries a day, easy. 20.
Still on the darts?
No. I gave up cold turkey. That's a funny story.
Have you seen the cost of those things lately?
Yeah. So I got an app actually. I'll pull it up. I'll tell you how much I've saved since I gave up.
I'll just tell you, while you're pulling that up, I'll tell you a story I saw the other day. I haven't seen the price of cigarettes for 10 years, and a lady down the road at Coles went up there and ordered 3 cartons of Alpine in front of us. Now this lady, she did look like a smoker, but it was $7.20 she paid.
What?
She reeled off $720 in cash for 3 cartons of Alpine. Alpine, is that right? Some menthol thing?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's been.
So what's this app? Tell me about this app.
Oh, here we go.
You can work out.
Yeah, so I just put in how much I'd spend on a day, and it would have gone up because dairy's gone up since then. But
let's have a look what price it smokes are here.
656 days smoke free. Reckons 30 grand. I reckons I've saved, and that's without the inflation. That's what I was paying back then.
Jeez, $40 a pack on average.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I was paying 50, so I was doing 50 a day, $50 a day.
So what's in a packet? 20? 25?
Yeah, so
about around $2.
When I started, it was about $2 a smoke. I say $50 because some days you'd smoke 20, some days you'd smoke 40, depending on how many beers you'd have.
So you're dropping around $100 a day on smokes.
Yeah, anywhere between 50 and 100. Yeah, I was paying a mortgage in durries.
That's a lot of cash.
Oh yeah, it was ridiculous. But yeah, I just when I started going through this self-development journey, I went to a bit of an event, a 3-day event, and then came back, and then I signed myself up to a business mastermind. And my first event, I was like, I'm going to give up smoking, and then I gave up smoking, and then gave up drinking, and then went on keto all at the same time. So my body just
How'd keto go?
Oh, it was good, but going through all the withdrawals of the piss and the durries and sugar and carbs and everything at the same time, I was in this fucking seminar, like getting dizzy spells and getting the keto flu, and it was going fucking crazy. But
sugar is the most dangerous thing, isn't it?
Massive. But it was one of the best things I did was keto. I lost a lot of weight through keto, but it's unless you stay on it, I didn't see it massively beneficial. As I started to get more into training and stuff, I found I couldn't reserve enough energy to train. But yeah, I lost a lot of fat. Like I got down to a kilo or 2 heavier than I am now.
Okay.
And then from 98 kilos.
Yeah.
Which was good in a shorter period of time. But that's why I feel I was like lacking the energy because I lost it so quick. But
your body's got to adjust, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then as soon as I came off keto and then started having a couple of beers, it was just like I got back up to like 92, 93, and then different periods, and I started losing, and then I went and did this challenge of 75. Do you know who Andy Frisella is?
No,
he's an awesome entrepreneur. Runs a massive company, but he's big on human performance and psychological training, and then so 75 Hard was developed to not so much be a physical challenge but a mental challenge. So it's 2 45-minute workouts a day, 4 litres of water, 10 pages of a book.
Oh, I have heard of this. Yeah.
And
10 pages of a book, I'd find that the hardest.
Yeah. Well, you think so. By the end, you thoroughly enjoy it, and then it's no cheat meals, and you got to follow a diet for 75 days.
What's this guy's name? I got to look him up now. You've got me curious.
Andy Frisella.
But there he is,
stabbed in the face. If you look at his scars.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, he designed it, and I enjoyed the challenge.
Oh, there we go. It's a book, 75 Days Hard.
I enjoyed the challge that much that I did.
Is it an e-book?
No, that's a part of it. Is you can't actually listen to an e-book. You have to read.
It. How about that? Trying to find a way, trying to cut corners.
Yeah. No, it was.
Is there a 70? Is there a 65 hard? That might be a bit easier.
I think there's a 75 soft. I think there is, and you do.
Written by Brad. Hang on.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Oh, it's good, mate. That's good that you've made that massive change, because I probably am exposed more to it going the other way, where it seems to someone recognises that there is an issue, And rather than I suppose take ownership of it and accountability of what they've done, it's a lot of blaming other people. So it's a big thing what you've done.
Yeah. For me, it's a big thing to just reflect. Like it's never been a big thing of mine. It's just always, I've always got this mindset of never enough.
Yeah.
And it's a massive trade in neurodivergency and people that also entrepreneurs, people that just can't, it's never enough. You're never at the top. You can never get there.
No.
And it can be quite confronting because you're like, well, I'm not doing enough to be at the next step. Like, why aren't I there yet? But then, sometimes I get reminded to just go, well, just have a look at where you were 2 years ago or 4 years ago or 6 years ago. And for me, it's a big thing to go, right, well, I have done a lot in 2 years.
Yeah.
So
if you're in the mindset of never enough, how do you go with having downtime?
Oh, I don't.
Don't?
No, I
have
do.
some time to
I
relax?
do. Yeah, I do. At the moment, there's fuck all with training. And
You're
else,
busy. You are very, very busy.
But yeah, the one big thing that me and my missus are big on is family time, rest time. Getting the time in with just even if it's just going for a walk or taking Scarlett down to the beach or doing something. We always have that time. It's very hard to do at the moment, but I told her it's an 8-week sacrifice and we're all good.
It's a fair drive for Mandurah up to counterbalance.
It is. I haven't been going every night, but I'm trying to do 3 days a week.
Have you found the training?
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. It's
different to your normal type of training?
Yeah, a lot different. Yeah. Because they're obviously, they're trying to, in 8 weeks, fast track something that probably happens in 6 months. You don't generally put someone in the ring in 8 weeks, do you? So
you don't. I think a lot of people have got not the basics, but they've got a little bit of an inkling. Like I don't think. Then again, there was one female fighter recently who I think was coming in completely fresh.
Yeah.
And I think she did extremely well.
Yeah, okay,
I think she did. I won't name the person, but
Yeah,
I think she did extremely well considering the time frame she worked in.
Mm-hmm.
So good on you, Ash.
Yeah.
She's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's some guys there with a lot more experience, and there's guys there that have probably never thrown a punch before.
But they're going to match you up very closely.
Yeah.
Very closely. Have they split into the teams yet?
Nah, I think Tuesday or Thursday we find out. Very, very close.
I thought it was going to be yesterday.
Yeah, that's what we got told as well. And then last night they told us that they were Tuesday or Thursday at the latest.
I do give them a hard time about that, but I don't mind it being an extra week or so because they are getting those matchups.
Well, the thing is, like last night they threw a couple of us in the ring, obviously working out who's got some better skills or who they're going to put us with, and it's also hard being different weights as well. Like I'm trying to get down below 80, and some of the guys that are up near 90. So it's and you feel the punches. Fuck when you're getting someone's 10 kilos heavier than you're throwing a fucking right.
Is it that much of a difference?
10 kilos. Some of the guys. One of the guys I was sparring last night. I forget his name. He only just came in because he's been working away for 5 weeks. So
Jesus. Sounds like a ring in here.
Yeah.
Floyd Mayweather.
I forget his name. But he had a fucking fierce right hand, and for someone 10 kilos heavier than me, you could feel it when they hit you for sure. And
isn't there like 30? There's 28 for the night. This is what
14 fights.
14 fights, yeah. So there's 28.
Yeah.
Unless they throw a 3-person fight in there.
Yeah.
So there's 28. Isn't there more than 28 of you there?
Yeah, I think there must be 33 or 34.
Okay.
Because just they say, they have a few from injury and people pull out, and which is understandable. Fuck, when you start training at a level of an athlete, you start getting some injuries. Like I know, like my elbows are hurting, my shoulders are hurting, and jaws hurting, nose is starting to close up on the inside.
I think it's that. It's just the injuries and I on one hand you think, well, it's unfortunate, 4 or 5 people are going to miss out, but I look at it as like that. It's good for the trainers, like what they're doing, because you think about the person that person was going to fight.
Yeah.
So rather than 2 people miss out, it's only going to be the one person who's got injured.
Yeah. So then, but they do say that if you don't get the cut this time, then you get guaranteed for the first pick next time. So
9 months of training.
Yeah,
you'll be pumped. What is it, October? You'll be pumped for the October one.
Yeah. I started training. I've been training boxing for a couple of years now.
Yeah,
not as an athlete though. Just been going down and doing a bit of sparring and some drill work and stuff, but to keep fit. But as soon as I got the emails, I called my coach and I was like, "Oh, I got a fight coming up," and he's like,
"It's getting real."
Yeah, and he's for a general coach, they won't put someone in until they know they're ready. So he's just like, "Well, you need to come down every session. You ain't missing a fucking session until you go in there." And I'm like, "Yeah, fair enough." So
it's only, what is it, less than 30 days away.
Yeah, it is. So at the moment we're getting in. Mondays I don't spar, and then Tuesdays I get 4 rounds in, do a 45-minute session, do another 4 rounds, and then on Wednesday I'll do 12 rounds in the morning and then 9 rounds at night.
So you are just non-stop? Just
flat out. As much as I can get in that ring, I'm in that ring.
And then on the weekends?
Then I'm doing Thursday night with the PCR trainer and then at counterbalance, and then Saturday, Sunday I'm doing counterbalance as well. And then depending on the team they put on, I know they move the times, so if they move the times for us on the Saturday and I end up pushing out, then I'll go to sparring. I'll do 10 or 12 rounds in the morning and then I'll go up there just because I can.
It's madness. Madness.
But, if I'm not doing it, the guy I'm going to be fighting will be. That's my mindset. And that's the,
They take it seriously.
Yeah.
Like everyone takes it seriously. I've never seen anyone half-ass it.
No. And I've noticed it just because I'm not there every session because it's a fucking long drive. And if I can't get there, I'll just go to my trainer. But what I have noticed is, from the start 8 weeks ago to the level of guys I was sparring then to the guys that I'm sparring now, there's a massive jump in level in 4 weeks. It's massive what's achievable when guys start putting their mind to it. But you can tell the guys that are doing their homework too.
I mentioned it before. You guys were sparring from the start.
Yeah, I think our second session we were just doing some light sparring.
I think that's when I was at.
Yeah.
I think it's because the one thing that a lot of people haven't had is copping a whack.
Yeah. No, it's different, and you get to a level when you start sparring is that you're not so focused on trying to win a round when you're sparring. You're focused on your technique, and that's in the last probably 2 to 3 weeks is where I've got is I don't mind copping a punch, or it's I'm okay with that now. It's now it's where am I going to where can I improve on, where can I slip out of the way, or where can I throw a counter punch, and footwork, everything. Yeah, for me it's because I'm short. Well, for probably the guys I'm going to be versing, most of them are going to be taller than me, and anyone I'm sparring is generally taller than me anyway. And for me, it's how do I use my footwork to my advantage to get on the inside or get out of the way of their long reach. Or
a couple of shorter fighters, there has been height discrepancies a few times in this due to them matching up.
Yeah,
and I think on majority of the cases, the short fighter. I know with the two girl fights I'm thinking of, the shorter fighter actually did get up, managed to get in there. Just turn it ugly.
You think, that's what you got to do. You just got to get in and just go. Because once you're on the inside, you're in there, and it's your advantage, so you just can't stop. And then when you get out of the way.
How do you think you're going to go 3 rounds?
Oh, easy.
Oh, make it 5.
Give me 10. No, that's one thing is I've just been putting in the cardio. Putting in the cardio.
It's so important, mate. I cannot stress that enough.
Yeah. And that's I'm the lightest I've been since I was 16. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Light on the feet?
Yeah, I'm trying to be as light as I can. I want to get below 80 because I feel I'm 82 now. But below 80 I feel I'll pick that little bit of speed up and that little bit of durability. Well, not durability. Get a little bit more agile, with a little bit less weight.
Yeah. How have you gone fighting in the headgear? Because I know that's been something you got to get used to.
Yeah, like I said, I've been doing it for a while now. So
okay. Oh, so you've used the headgear before?
Yeah.
Oh, no dramas.
Yeah. Well, I did karate when I was young. My mum's a black belt, so she's always been a little bit rough, and we've always been involved in a little bit of that martial arts scene. And then growing up, I did a fair bit of Muay Thai, and then some Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and then I was going to go to MMA a couple of years ago, and then got fucking lazy, I suppose, and then never did it. And then after my knee, I was like, well, I can't go back to kickboxing. I could, but it's probably more chance of doing an ACL again. So
you don't want to go through that again?
Nah. So I just went to boxing, and I only went for fitness. Getting into the ring was always a bucket list thing. So now I can tick it off, and if I end up having another one, I'll end up having another one.
Maybe a couple of people have gone on to have a Jackie Toth. She's had a couple of professional fights.
A couple of the guys haven't they as well?
Yeah, some of the earlier days. Yeah, and they've done well.
Yeah.
Good on them. Good on them.
Yeah, I think there comes a different level of commitment to get into the ring, I reckon. And anyone who criticises anyone that got in the ring and lost or didn't put on a good show should eat their words and go get in the fucking ring, because it takes a different level of commitment and a different type of human being as well.
Definitely.
So
100% agree with you.
To be okay
there.
with someone possibly losing and getting knocked the fuck out, it's a different feeling.
I don't think people appreciate that enough. I mean, I do. I've never been in the ring, but I don't think people appreciate what it is to actually get in the ring and fight in front of this many people and a lot of your mates.
For your first fight as well. And then you're going to have, 1,500 people sitting there cheering you on, cameras everywhere. Have you ever been to a fight night, like a local fight night around here?
Have I?
Yeah.
Oh, a while back. I think Mirrabooka or something.
Yeah. Like they have them, I went to one recently because the guys out of my gym fight all the time. And, there's probably a couple hundred people there, but it's in a fucking, an old building or something with, you got a few people with their iPhones video on it, and a few, probably your gym's cheering you on, and the level of being in the casino grand ballroom and then having fucking
video cameras,
yeah,
the professional work. Plus, and then it gets put up. Then I put it up on YouTube for everyone to relive it. Forever.
Yeah.
But that's where I got to respect. There's a guy that fought 2 PCRs, and then the last one was Governor Kyle, and he unfortunately lost the not unfortunately, sorry, he lost the first one.
Yeah.
Not in the greatest fashion. And then he had the balls to back it up and come back in and fight again. And the guy he was fighting was just had a few years on him, but just an old hard nut.
Yeah.
So good on Kyle for backing it up, because that would have taken something.
Yeah, I think...
Because it's only about 2 months in it.
Yeah.
And he's come back. He's gone, I'll do it again.
Jeez. Oh, straight after he did the next one. Yeah, fuck.
That's gutsy.
That is
gutsy. Good on you.
My coach says it as well. Like, once you get in the ring for the first time, the best thing to do, even if you win, lose or draw, you get straight back in there.
Yeah.
Go have your next one. As a amateur novice, it's the best thing you do. Get as many under your belt as you can,
because everyone's going to be that bit different, isn't it?
Yeah. And your first one's always different, right? It's you're not sure to engage, or you're not sure whether you're going to come out firing, or
what is that? I always look at that. I watch the fights, and when that first bell rings and they're looking at each other, and you're probably mates with your opponent, and you both walk out there thinking, who's going to throw the first punch? And then everyone just headhunts.
Yeah. And that's the big thing that I've noticed when I went to PCR last year was a lot of it was they were just a lot of the guys and the girls, they were just going for the head continuously, and they weren't composing themselves and slowing down and going for the body and then going for the head and then mixing it up. But
that first round is just mayhem, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think there was the 2 fights, the 2 last fights, they were really good in the last
Jody,
fight.
I think it's Jody against Josh. They were great fighters. Then the Fridge was against Will Cleggett, the main event. They were both extremely good fights.
They were good fights.
They all can fight very, very well.
Yeah. No, they were
big boys.
They were really good. But I actually went and rewatched them recently to see, because I'm like, what level were these guys at? Because I couldn't. It was a while ago, or a few months ago. Lots happened between then and then. Let it down.
It's good to go back and watch it, and you'll see how different you score it when you watch it, like the actual footage to when you're ringside.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, it was good to go back and watch it, but but to know what that feeling is when you get in there on the fight night, until I get in there, I won't know.
You get to go in there during the day. You go in there, I think it's about lunchtime. You go in there, and then you can actually get in the ring and you can walk around.
Yeah.
Because it'd be... Can you imagine your first time in the Grand Ballroom was like an hour before your fight?
Yeah,
it'd be so overwhelming.
Yeah, it would be. It's... I kind of know what I'm in for walking out because I've been to the event last
You were
year.
you were at the last one.
Last
weren't you?
one, yeah.
Hang on, I've got a photo of you up here.
That's it. Yeah.
Is that your missus?
Yeah, it is.
No, nice. Okay, so that's it. Oh, look at you! Look at the hair flowing.
It is. It's went and got that suit just for that night.
Did you?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. The only other one I owned was a one I'd bought a few years back when me and my missus got together. She went working for this insurance broker, and they had their 10-year anniversary. And you imagine there's a room full of millionaires, and then there's little old bogan me from Mandurah, little 19-year-old me from Mandurah, free piss all night. Oh man, yeah. So that was the only other suit that I owned, and it quite didn't fit.
okay, so that's it. There we go. November. That was last year.
Yeah.
That wasn't that long ago.
Nah.
It seems it though, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It seems like a while back.
Yes, that would have been October, that fight.
Yeah.
That was the 9th. That would have been when the photos came out.
Oh, there we go. November 9th.
Yeah.
That's right.
So that would have been a couple of weeks before that.
Okay, beautiful. Your sponsors,
Yeah.
Pete's Tree Works.
Yeah.
I heard the owners are paying the ass. No,
Definitely Ken calls a ruckus.
you got two sponsors.
Yeah.
Tell me about More Home Constructions.
Yeah, it's a funny yarn. Oh, Wado, he's a good dude.
Wado.
When I first moved to Mandurah, back to Mandurah, he was my first neighbour when I first moved back. We had 5 acres on the Serpentine River in Mandurah.
You didn't. He doesn't own that bus that you destroyed. In that
No. Right. He hadn't quite moved in. He just bought the property next door to ours, and we were only renting. And my first introduction to him was he was getting off. It was around Christmas time because I think he just had his Christmas do. And my missus hadn't even moved back to Perth yet. We'd moved into the house. We were having a house while we and all the boys. And
the missus was still up in Darwin.
The missus was still in Darwin. Yeah. And it would have been 7 o'clock in the morning or something, and he's walking up from the river, got dropped off by a boat to his house, and then his dogs ended up in our yard. And so I walked over there, and then that was my first introduction. I was fucked up, and so was he. And then his missus come home, and she got stuck for an hour and a half listening to me dribble shit while he was passed out on the couch. She didn't quite like me for the first 12 months of knowing her, but he's a good dude.
So he owns more.
He owns more own construction. Yeah. They're chippies. They build. He specialises in building dongers and stuff for the mines. If you want to know if there's a boom coming, he's the man to call because it gets all the builds.
Oh, okay. And he was happy to jump on board and put his name next to him?
Yeah, well, I called him up and I said, do you want to sponsor me? And then he said, how much? I think it's about $2,000 or something. And he's like, fuck, I'll pay $2,000 to let you get bashed, mate. So
is he going to be there on the night?
Yeah, he's going to be there, yeah.
What?
Big, long dreadies.
Just give me a brief rundown of what your tables look like.
So one table's all business owners.
Yep.
And then the other table's me brother, me best mate, or a couple of me close mates, so they're all bogans from Mandurah or Rockingham. And then you got the other table, which is a bit of a mix. So you got Wado, then a couple of good mates of mine, some business owners and stuff as well sitting at that table. So there's a bit of a mix going on. So
even you mentioned, I won't say bogans, but even though you do say bogans, on the night everyone holds it together.
Yeah.
That is. I mean, you get absolutely every possible walk of life in there. Well, look at Glenn Austin and his mates. I mean, there's a rabble there. Terrified of all of them. But you look at that, and you may have these guys that are bogans, but everyone gets dressed up. Everyone dons those suits, and everyone holds it together. Everyone has a great night.
Yeah.
I've never seen a drama there, and if anywhere there was going to be a drama, I said it's always going to be at a boxing event or an MMA event
when there's piss all night.
A lot of
tap, and they're just walking out. And then when I explain it to people, like they're like, do we order? And I'm like, no. There is a free run of Coronas constantly coming to your
doesn't
stop. And I was like grabbing them for the boys that were at our table last time, and they because I wasn't drinking, so I was just grabbing them for them and just fucking feeding them to them.
Yeah, because I didn't drink. I haven't drank the last 3 of them, and obviously there because I'm so invested in the fights. And the lady was like, like she was looking at me, just keep putting. I said, no, I'm good. I was just on the waters.
Yeah.
There's
so hard to get a water. It's easier to get a fucking beer.
She walked around 6 beers and champagne.
Yeah.
She got to go. They usually crack the shits with you.
Yeah.
You gotta
I was
go
like,
back
I just want some soda water and some lime. Is that fucking that hard?
So tell me this, why did you apply?
Well, like I said before, it's always been a bucket list to just get in the ring. I've wanted to do it fucking forever. And then after, I didn't even know what this PCR was until, we got a message from one of our mates to see if we wanted to come down and watch his boxing event. We're like, yeah, no worries. And they obviously had a table, and I didn't know the guy, Michael Gardner. I didn't know him.
Oh, Mickey Gardner.
Yeah, I didn't know him, but that's who we were part of his crew.
One of the biggest hearts I've ever seen on someone was Mickey Gardner. His body was...
His knee was fucked the whole time.
His knee, his shoulder, everything was just... He was basically held together with tape. And he went up against the Juice, James Wells, who was an absolute savage. And Mickey, he's a good man. He's a good, both of them, even James as well. But that was, I would have liked to have seen that one go a little bit longer.
Yeah,
but I think Mickey's body just is.
Yeah, it wasn't quite holding up in there, was it?
No, first fight of the night. That one. That was the opening one. That's one.
Yeah, so we got invited to that, and then obviously the end of the night they just opened it up, and I was and we were sitting at the table, and we'd obviously been talking around the table, and everyone sort of knew that I was training, and they. Just fucking literally, I was just going probably 2 or 3 times a week, and then they were like, "Fucking put your name down." And I was like, "I will put my name down." They were like, "Well, we'll come and watch it," and then none of them are coming.
What a place to, if you are going to if you do want to do a boxing event, like have a bout. Couldn't think of a more ideal place to do it. Because it is so controlled, it's still savage, and people can get knocked out. But with how evenly matched you are, with the level of experience, with the way the coaches look after you, both coaches, not just your coach, but the other coach, and the ref looks after you. I don't think you could find a better place to start.
Not to break into it, I don't reckon. I reckon it's a pretty good way. It's a scary. To start with, it's a scary thought to think that guys with only 8 weeks experience are getting in the ring to punch on, but like you say, they're matched with someone who's on the same level as them.
Yeah,
they're not going to match someone that's you can clearly see that they've had a couple of years experience to someone who's only been training for that 8 weeks. No
one gets fed to someone else.
No.
Anyone can win the fight, and I think it comes down to cardio and comes down to heart.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes a bit of luck as well.
Yeah.
Awesome judges.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have a go at the judges. I did that once, and that did not work out well for me.
Yeah. I bet it didn't. No, it's it's definitely a good challenge. It teaches you that level of commitment that you can have. And for me, it's been, massive. 1, living in Mandurah, and 2, having the business. I had to be open to my boys and say, "You're not going to see me fuck all for the next 10, 12 weeks."
How have they gone with that?
Yeah, they're
supportive.
They're good as. There's obviously still challenges in there. Not being able to see me, but I suppose it's sort of the next step in the journey for me anyway, because I don't need to be there every day, right? If I have to be there every day, then it's a shit show. So for me, it's been able to let go of that control a little bit, let them run their own fucking show.
Tough.
Yeah. Which it's been part of my journey for the last 12 months anyway. You got pointed out to me that I was probably micromanaging a little bit, which is what you do when you own a business.
Oh, I'm the worst for it. Absolute worst.
So it's that was one of my biggest things, was just letting go of control and then letting them do that, and then now even more so just letting them do things that probably the biggest things that I control is just sitting back, and I say sitting back, but committing more so to boxing than work at the moment. And
I say one of the best things you can do for your employees is actually give them more responsibility.
Yeah. So when it got pointed out to me, and the way it was in one of my business masterminds. It was one of the things that was coming up was that I couldn't let go of that control, and then and
is that because you work to a certain standard?
You're scared for them to fuck your shit, fuck someone else's shit, or hurt somebody, and the big thing is the more these things go in on your head, the more you manifest them, the more they actually happen, right? So, and then, but when I was coming up, and this other guy in business that was on my mastermind table, he sort of looks at me dead in the eyes. You know, he runs a pretty big corporation. He looks at me and he said, "Who the fuck gave you permission to stand in the way of their success?" And I was like,
he's dead right, isn't he?
Dead right. So, and then from that day forward, I just stood the fuck out of the way.
And it's worked out well for you?
We did lose some team members over the change in dynamics.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much all of them.
Yep.
We went from doing, 10, 12 grand a day down to 2 pretty quick, which is hard work. And then we kept a couple of guys, and then recruited very strategically, and then now we're back up to 7. So it's been a journey, but yeah, it's way better. Like, the dynamics are better now. They don't even... one of the biggest things they tell me is that they're just grateful that I just let them do their job. I don't put time restrictions on them. I don't, I'll tell them later on, give them some feedback and say, "Fuck, that took you 2 hours longer than it was supposed to," and we'll talk about it. But I won't. I'll try avoid, unless I'm concerned that something's wrong with them. I'll try avoid fucking calling them and micromanaging them, and unless and if I'm going to, I say if we're going to do some hardcore training on some leadership or something, I will say it's going to feel like I'm going to micromanage you for the next 4 weeks, because I will be, and be prepared for it. And the more you open with them, the better they are.
That's a hard thing to do.
Very hard. Very hard.
I haven't mastered that yet. Still terrified to get someone to edit these interviews. I go, no, I'll do this.
Yeah. There's some things that I'll probably never give away in the business.
Yeah,
and it's good. I mean, it's not only my baby. It's I'm keeping something alive that I don't want to die.
Oh, and if it's yours, and obviously the story behind the business, there's no way that you're going to let this thing fail.
No way. There's many contingencies in place based on the current market and the way things are going. So
beautiful.
Yeah.
What's your family and friends say about all this stuff? About you taking part in this boxing match? Because you got an 18-month-old.
Yeah. The missus was supportive straight away. She always knew that I wanted to get in the ring, and she knows, it's pretty tough at the moment because I'm not home all the time. And but we talk about it. It's like it's only another 4 weeks. And then even if I'm training every night at home, I'm still only down the road. It's I'm not losing 3 hours of my day fucking driving up there. So, and the weekends. The weekends are the biggest one at the moment, especially training it. I finish training at nearly 11 o'clock, and then by the time I get back to Mandurah at 12, the baby's asleep, and we've only got the afternoon. So, but everyone else wanted to come, and then they're like, "Oh, yeah, tickets a bit much. We can't really afford it." And I'm like, "Yeah, fair enough. Like, it's all right." We were going to have row 1 seats, but everyone got the price tag and was like, "Oh yeah." I was like, "All right, we'll bring it back."
Every seat's good, mate. As you know.
Well, we sat in row 5 last time, and it was
fine.
You're still within 50 metres of the ring. Right?
So, you can still see everything.
Yeah.
I'll be ringside. I won't touch the ring where I sit.
Well, that's what I was like. Fuck, we'll get ringside, and then we're only going to do 2 tables, and the 2 tables we'll bring them what could easily afford it, and then when a few others were like, "Oh, we'll come," and we're like, "All right, we'll drop it back to row 4, make it a bit affordable for everyone." I haven't got the GST for everyone.
Just so generous, mate.
Comes off my bill anyway.
You can run it all through your business, can't you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, cool.
So I just ran it all through, and that's for anyone who didn't own a business that's coming. I just copped the GST for them.
Okay, so good on you. Any concerns about the event?
No, not really.
No? Just where you're going to hang the belt?
Yeah, pretty much.
Are you staying at the Crown?
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. A couple of nights there. Yeah, that'd be a long trip back to Mandurah at that hour.
It would be. Nah, we stayed up there. No, we didn't stay up there last time because we didn't drink, but this time, we're definitely going to stay. I don't know how much I'll have to drink afterwards. I'll be...
You got to treat yourself. I'm not telling you to drink. I'm not telling you.
No, I'll have some beers, but I don't know how long they'll last. I'll probably have a couple.
You'll be exhausted by the end of it, mate.
Yeah. Look, I'm feeling it now. Like, we're only 4 weeks into PCR, but I'm 10 weeks in. Yeah. For me, like, I've been flat out. And I can feel it in my body. Like, even sparring guys that I know that I can probably genuinely beat, win rounds most of the time. It's getting harder and harder for me to do it because I'm getting tighter and tighter. Yeah.
You're having some time off work in that last week or two? As in the tree job?
Yeah, maybe. I'm generally not on the tools anyway.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see what plays out in the last couple of weeks, and but I'll definitely probably be doing for the last 2 weeks. Be doing a lot of recovery.
Oh yeah,
and
I think they cut the training right back in the last week as well.
It's just cardio. Like you don't want to be punching on with each other and accidentally break a knuckle or break a rib or something. Yeah, no,
it's that.
You know, for me, like even now, you know, like I got fucking bruised ribs in here, and you know, every night, you know they're bruised when that you can see them punch and it's only a small punch, and you're like, fuck, that hurts. And you're like,
kill you over.
Yeah.
Anywhere in particular you're hoping to fight on the night?
Somewhere towards the end, I reckon.
Is that what you think?
Yeah.
Possibly main event?
Oh, I'd like to be.
Really?
Yeah.
Good on you. Good, because I know a lot of people want to fight early. A lot of people don't want fights 1 or possibly 2, but nice and early so they can enjoy the night.
I'd like it would be nice, but to be able to sit back and watch everyone else fight, you know, I'd like to enjoy that, but I'd like to let the honour of headlining an event would be pretty cool.
That'd be great, mate.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool.
And the fact that you're not, and everyone has the right to have their drinks and their celebration afterwards, but the fact that really sounds like it hasn't entered your mind, like you just can't wait for it to be over so you can get on it.
Nah.
There'd be no dramas with you fighting later in the night.
No, I'll have a nap at fucking 5 o'clock and wake up and be all good and then start, you know, warming up.
When you get separated into your teams, though, you start to get very, very invested in your mates on that team.
Yeah.
And you'll want to see every fight.
Yeah, I will, yeah.
And those
it'll pump me up, for sure.
Those corners get rowdy as well.
Yeah.
That red team. Was it red team? No, it was a blue team. They were standing near me a couple of PCRs ago. Jesus, they were noisy.
When I was playing rugby, I was always better at second half. I was always wound up through the first half of the game, and I was better at coming on second half.
Oh, come home with a wet soul, mate.
Yeah.
I'll be looking for you in round 3.
That'll be the time I'll shine, is in round 3.
I'll hold you to that, mate. I think we're commentating on the night. I'm going to be bringing all this stuff up during your fight. He told me. Alex told me this. He's a liar.
When I'm panting and fucking hands by my side and getting copped in the head, he told me he could handle it.
Look at this guy. No cardio. Any inkling which team you're going to be on?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'm just trying to think who you'll be suited to. All the coaches are good.
Yeah.
All the very different coaches, but mate, you're in safe hands.
Yeah. I'm not concerned either way. I'll go with. They're both good dudes. Get along with them both.
Yeah.
I'm not really concerned either way. Whichever one comes the winner on the night is the one I'll be a part of.
I shouldn't say which team has chosen you. I should ask you which team you've chosen. Plead your case, Nige. Plead your case, man. Yeah. All right. Any idea of your opponent?
Nah. There's a couple of guys that there's a handful of us that obviously have some experience, and it tells by the when you're in the ring with them, but. It's hard because of the weight classes as well. Because it's a couple of the guys that are probably fairly better and a fair bit heavier than me. So
yeah,
I think there's a couple that are probably in my weight class, but I haven't sparred everyone, so it's hard to know.
That's probably why they're giving it that extra week to really get every single person in there and see how they go.
Like I go down early. I'll go down early tomorrow morning. Yeah, spar a couple of the boys. Just to get the rounds in. They're not getting as many rounds as me either, so I give them the opportunity to jump in, and I try and help them, where their holes are a little bit, and tell them a few pointers, and they'll give me some, and
that's a good thing.
Works out well, It's because it's us against them. But you're also a team, right? Boxing is a funny thing because it's an individual team sport.
Yeah, you're right.
Everyone that you ever get in the ring with and spar against, there's a level of respect, one, that they're there, and two, you're coaching them as much as they're coaching you. Like when I'm jumping in the ring with guys from our gym that are fighting, it's you cop them with a good right hand or a good uppercut or something, he's like, oh fuck, I should be better than that. And it's the same when they're hitting me. They're like, oh, roll out or get out of the way or spin off, things that aren't going through my mind at that point in time.
I did see that with that first sparring session was even though you were fighting each other, someone would land something and then they'd repeat it like 3 or 4 times in slow motion and tell their opponent how not to get hit with it again.
Yeah.
That's great. It's got a good culture down there, hasn't it?
Yeah. And I think, generally most boxing gyms do. And if you don't, if there isn't, I haven't been to many, but I've been to a few martial arts gyms, and generally that's the consensus, right? Is you look after each other.
That's the thing. I don't know. I've only been exposed to counterbalance only because I went to school with Craig. He's a spot on guy. I know what he's like. And Anarchy, which was very much had a great culture. It was mayhem there. I don't know if you ever went there. And now that's Good Vibes Boxing, which I know Ben runs, and he's a great guy. So I'm sure Good Vibes Boxing is just as good, the culture wise. But I'm not too sure. I mean, I've heard of gyms where the new guy comes in and they pretty much the old baptism of fire, which I'm not sure where that's the best way to go.
Nah, I mean, if you come into our gym, even if you are a fighter and you want to fight, you've got to be put through the rounds before you're even chosen to be in that class. Yeah. You've got to prove that you have the commitment to come to every single class, that you got to do doubles, you got to do an hour and a half of training a day. You got to, you can't just think you can walk through the door and then jump into the same level these guys are at, even if you are at that level. You've got to have that commitment to the gym.
Because you get paced up very quickly. Yeah, well, it's not just that. It's, imagine, you've just done 3 or 4 months of hardcore training just to be chosen to be in that class, and some new guy just walks through the door and then all of a sudden he's in that class. You would start losing the level of respect for your coach. Yeah, true. So it's all about commitment where we are. It's great. I love it. Are you talking about counterbalance, or are you talking about where I train? What's the name? Fighter Fit. Danny Hayes. I did actually see this photo here. I mentioned it before. Just remembered there. Jackie Toth.
Oh, she probably comes in from one of the other gyms, I'd imagine.
Okay, yeah. Jackie was the one that fought in, I think it was PCR 8, 7 or 8. Yeah. So she's the one that's had the 2 professional fights. Yeah. She's savage.
Yeah. So Carly to the side of her, the taller girl. Yeah. She's had a fair few fights.
Okay. And this is the gym you train at?
Yeah.
Fighter Fit Boxing. Danny Hayes.
Danny Hayes, yeah. He's a legend.
Okay. Good dude. It's a good gym?
Yeah, very good gym.
Where's Danny?
That's him on the left.
Hang on, let's find Danny here. That's him there?
On the left, yeah.
I hate people. That's his shirt.
Yeah. Oh, he's a funny dude.
Oh, mate.
It's a different culture down there. It's you either want to be there or you're not there. Yeah. It's great. Oh, it's good.
Okay, mate. Now, getting on to the most important thing, as always, your walkout music. Yeah. Actually, I'll get your nickname first. That might lead into the walkout music. Did you come up with this nickname, or was this nickname thrust upon you?
It was thrust upon me.
Who by? Call him out.
Shawnee, my best mate. Yeah. I sent it to the group message, and I'm like, fuck, I need to come up with a fighter name, and I'm pretty useless at it, right? Yeah. And a few names are flying around, and they were coming out all right. I can't remember them all, but they were better than the boys at work. The boys were coming in with some fucking weird shit from Mandurah, and I was like, yeah, these are all right. And he goes, oh, the Blonde Bombshell, and I was like, yeah, I could picture this. And I was like, oh.
Are you going to dye it blonde? Like, are you going to go full blonde?
Well, it is blonde. I don't need to dye it.
No, I'm talking about that white. Oh, white. The eyebrows.
Yeah, remember that kid, he's not a kid anymore, but he had them parties over in Sydney.
Oh, Corey,
yeah. Get the sunnies on.
Oh, yeah. Didn't he wear like a big, like leopard print?
Yeah, with no shirt on. Yeah. That was it.
He did look a bit like Corey. Yeah. What was his name? Corey Worthington, I think it was.
Is that him?
Is that it? I think so. He's a clown.
That classic interview with 7 News. Yeah, it was fucking funny. Oh yeah, that's what I pictured when you said that bleach hair. Yeah, but no, and then I was like, fuck, that's not bad. That's actually pretty funny. And then I was like, fuck, it doesn't need to be serious. It's a pretty good night. Like, it can be pretty funny. And then I was like, fuck it, what about some Christina Aguilera? And I was in the car with the missus at the time. And then so I started throwing on some Christina Aguilera songs. And then Candyman came on. I was like, yeah, this is it.
I've got the official audio right here.
That's it. Perfect.
So you're coming out to this?
Yeah.
That'll be all right.
I might even tuck me singlet through the top of the shirt.
Nice. Come out looking. You should come out looking like one of these sailors or something like that.
Yeah. Get my tie on that I'll put on later on. And
when you said, I thought you were going to come. I thought your nickname was going to be Candyman. Obviously, you just said that before, and I was going to say this is what I thought you were going to come out to when you said Candyman.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
Could be more inappropriate.
Yes.
That's good. I like it with the nickname and the music. I know some people do take it seriously, and everything has to be perfect and has to be a full pump up song. But a song like this, I know it's probably half for you and half for the crowd as well.
Yeah, I mean, it'll pump the crowd up.
Oh,
they'll have a mad laugh with it.
Oh, I know I will. I'll be right into this.
Yeah.
A bit Christina.
I'll be flicking the mullet walking down that carpet. It'll be that good.
Should have like someone with like a fan in front of you down low. Just in the breeze.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, that would be fucking classic, wouldn't it?
Mate, after this is done, because it is only 30 days away, how do you reckon you're going to go with the come down from this? I know you're a very busy man, but how do you think you're going to go? Because you've got this focal point, you're going to have this massive adrenaline rush on the night, and afterwards, how do you think you're going to go?
Fucking good couple of pizzas, I reckon. Pretty good, I reckon. I'll probably, my missus asked me the same thing, similarly, like, am I going to take any time off or anything? And I'm like, maybe I might take a week off, or I might just go straight back to training. Probably not in the ring straight away, but I'll probably jump in to keep the cardio up. And
you've got plenty to distract you, because obviously you got your business. You sound like you have a very supportive partner there, and you've got like a newborn, 18 months old daughter.
And we're planning a wedding for next year as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you going to have it in Perth?
Yeah, we're going to have it down south.
I thought you were going to say Bali.
No, we're going to do it down like near the Blackwood River somewhere. And then Yeah. I was trying to get somewhere on the river, and we found a couple of spots, but fucking the venue hire is just ridiculous.
Ludicrous.
Yeah. So then we found the
just get someone with 5 acres, mate, and a burnt out bus.
Yeah.
Have it there.
But then we found somewhere local, the quarry farm down the road here. They're only just like, down the road near fucking Jarrahdale.
Yeah.
And it's 5 acres over. They got a nice dam there, overlooks the water and shit. And we can have our wedding.
Oh yeah,
wedding
I know
and
the place.
reception. It's only $5,000 or something to hire the whole place. And
beautiful.
for what it was going to cost us, like 30 down there, it's costing us like 15.
It's going to be a lot closer for a lot of the people.
Yeah,
as well.
Closer. It's going to, accommodations less. It's we don't have to try to get people there, and so because she toyed, because it was my idea to go down there, and then she liked the idea, and we went and looked at some venues. Nothing really clicked, and then she found this place, and she just was in love with it, and I was like, no worries, that's fine. Perfect.
Don't argue. No.
Yeah,
so, whatever you like.
I liked it, and it was, I'm only low key. Like, none of my family's coming. Like my mum and my brothers, none of my sisters are coming.
What time of year?
April 21st. It's so our 10-year anniversary is on the April 19th.
Okay.
That falls on a Friday, which we need more than fucking 70 or 80 people to come. So we can't do it Friday, so we did it Sunday.
Okay.
So a little low key.
Good time of year. The only reason I was saying I went to, I think it might have been the same place. I think I went to one there in December.
Yeah, it would have been stinking. Oh.
I don't do well in the sun, as you can tell by my skin hue, the colour. I remember it being stinking hot.
Yeah,
but this time
it's a farm as well.
Yeah, this time of year, it's going to be a month later. It's going to be great.
Yeah,
it's going to be lush.
High 20s or low 30s. It'll be nice, cool during the night. We'll probably get a fireplace going.
It's ideal.
Got a live band coming.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had one at our engagement party. And it's the same one coming, actually, is why we got them. Yeah. And, you just can't beat a live band. Even with only 60 people there, it's just and they're so good. Like, they just do such a good genre of music.
Oh, and they can mix it up.
Yeah.
Throw in a bit of Love Shack.
Yeah. No, they're really
It's what the crowd want.
Yeah. No, they're fucking awesome. It's good fun.
Beautiful. Made a month out. Any final thoughts?
Nah. No, I'm pretty confident, to be honest with you.
I love it.
And I'd be pretty ashamed of myself if I wasn't.
Mate, win, lose or draw, the fact that you're getting in there for your debut.
So my mindset is if I didn't give it my all and lost, I'd kick myself.
But if
I give it my all, lose, win, draw, I know that I gave it my best and I can walk away with my head high.
Yeah, that's a good attitude to have.
Yeah.
You got a great attitude. I admit, after going through some of your social media, I wasn't going to be sure of your attitude. It has been a delight. When I saw that mullet pull up in my driveway, I was thinking, what have I got myself in for?
Imagine some of my clients. Like we got the Rooney Shire contract, and you know when some of the new guys came in and took over, and I'm walking into their office to have a meeting with these new guys that are running the show down there, and they're like, who the fuck is this guy?
It's the Blonde Bombshell. Who do you think it is? The Candyman's just playing in the background as you're walking.
Yeah.
I think could you imagine being gassed in the third, going, I really should have put a bit more in. Would there be anything more painful?
Yeah.
And you go back to the corner and Glenn or Nige said, you really should have put more in.
Yeah. No, I would definitely be kicking myself. But no, that's one thing that I've been that committed to going every night. The only time I've had off is when I got tonsillitis and I had 3 days off.
Okay. You come good?
Yeah.
Beautiful. That's about it, mate.
Yeah.
Mate, I want to thank you very much for coming in here today. This has been delightful. This has all been done, I reckon, in one take.
Yeah.
It's been great. It's going to make it so much easier for editing. I don't want to outsource that yet. I haven't got that control thing out.
I did tell you that I could make it interesting without answering too many questions.
Well, yeah, obviously, because you didn't answer any of my questions that I sent you prior. Mate, thanks again for coming in. It has been delightful, and I wish you all the best for the event coming up, April 22, Crown Grand Ballroom, the Gobsmacked Perth Corporate Rumble number 10. Yeah. And, mate, once it's done, if you ever want to come back in here, we can put the fight up on the big screen and you can give me running commentary. Yeah. So you're always welcome back here.
We can do
post-fight analysis.
We can schedule that in if you want. And I can tell you how all them feelings went through the first time in the ring and how it feels to engage.
Beautiful. Mate, thanks for your time and I look forward to seeing you again soon.
All good.
Thanks mate.